Every single student in my class had a photo or a memento of a loved one who was either in jail or dead. And this is the reality of the trauma facing our youth, and the police are not helping. The safest communities are not those with the most police officers. They're the communities with the most resources. When you're made whole and your needs are met, you don't hurt other people, you help them and heal them. And that's what we want for our kids. We want to give them the resources they need to be whole. We need trauma counseling, school psychologists. We need college counselors and nurses in every building, so they can be part of healing this deeply troubled society. Thousands of Black people were fleeing the terrorism of white supremacy in the Jim Crow South. And they were coming to northern cities, and the response by northern politicians was to figure out how to control those populations. And part of that was sending police into the school buildings. Using the boogeyman of school shootings as a way to try to wedge more police officers into schools is faulty logic. A 6-year-old girl in Florida was arrested for having a temper tantrum. He drove her to a youth jail where he fingerprinted her and took her mugshot, all because she had the developmentally appropriate behavior of a temper tantrum. Instead of the school finding ways to nurture and support this child, we too often quickly move to punishment. In New Mexico last year, there was an 11-year-old girl who a police officer suspected of taking an extra carton of milk from the cafeteria. And he grabbed her and threw her into a brick wall and wrestled her down to the ground. These are far too common stories in school buildings across the country, and it's part of the school to prison pipeline. Some school districts attempt to check a box with restorative justice rather than do it in a robust way. And I think it's important to actually fully fund restorative justice programs to see them work. Because restorative justice isn't just about holding peace circles when a conflict arises. It's also about a set of practices that educators can use on an ongoing basis to create community before conflicts arise. And I think that's a way that we can use restorative practices on an ongoing basis to build whole and thriving communities rather than investing in more law enforcement and imprisonment.